what fan bases should we rattle this week? What fans don't we like this week?
Swansea.
We don't like Swansea fans.
Birmingham fans, I rattled you to the absolute. What camera am I looking at? I don't know. I rattled you to the core. If you've seen that TikTok clip, I wonder if this gets clipped. You never know.
Well, this is the EFL show, and welcome to the Blue Podcast Network. This is the Green Show. So I'm here with Kian and Reese. We're going to be taking you through all of the action from the Championship down to League Two.
Mm-hmm.
So where should we start? Should we start with Burnley v Sunderland, the top of the table clash?
Perfect start, yeah.
I mean, 0-0 draw, so you wouldn't think it's entertaining, but if we talk about those last few minutes, those two Sunderland penalties.
I watched that game. I live streamed it on our TikTok. If you haven't checked that out yet. The TikTok page. We're doing live streams every day. But it's a deal, yeah. I think the 94th minute was when he missed the second penalty, wasn't it? It's just ridiculous. Like how can you miss a penalty that late on in the game when you've been ever reliable for your team this season? It was a shock to see him miss.
I mean, missing one in the last few minutes is bad enough, and then they get one again right at the end. Imagine being in that Sunderland away end.
You come out there gutted, don't you? You come out there thinking, "Oh, we should have had 3 points there."
You'd think it's a loss.
Right, so you get the first penalty right. You miss, and you're like, all right, and you're like, fine. Then it comes to the last minute, and you've got another penalty. You're thinking, yes, this is our chance. It's redemption, and you miss again. It's
obviously there was a debutant in that Sunderland team, Enzo Lefebvre.
What did you make of his performance then?
He had his moments. I'd certainly say that. I think that through ball he sent to Isidore in the second half, where Isidore missed that one-on-one chance, a great ball. But his first game in the Championship, he'll still be getting used to it. Still unbelievable signing. He's just gonna, if Sunderland are gonna be in this automatic race, come end of the season, Lefebvre will be massive.
I saw this suggested online, and I kind of agreed with it, which is to do with this deal. Do you think that the pressure is getting to Sunderland because they weren't maybe expecting to be this high up in this point in the season? Do you think the 2 missed penalties and that missed one-on-one could be to do with nerves?
Potentially. But yeah, those misses aren't the greatest, and there's a lot of pressure on Sunderland. As you said, they're not in a position where they thought they would have been this season. At one point they were top. They kind of slipped away from that top spot at the moment, although the top 4 is quite close.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's pressure, because no one really expected them to be up here, like up top of the table.
Well, maybe I think
but now they want to stay there.
The expectations have changed.
I mean, Isadio has 8 goals this season. You'd expect him to put away at least a penalty. Maybe the one-on-one miss you can forgive him for, because every good player misses one-on-ones. Haaland misses one-on-ones. You don't score every one-on-one, but he's been very reliable for Sunderland so far. It was a surprise to see him miss, I think, and I think
it's good goalkeeping. Trafford.
It was very good. We have to talk about Trafford. I said this on the live stream before the game started. I said, for me, Trafford's the best keeper in the league. It's why Burnley have kept so many clean sheets. It's proving true, isn't it?
It's very good for Burnley in the Premier League anyway. He paid a lot of saves and stuff.
Yeah, but then they dropped.
They did from Juric,
that's even worse.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we move on to
South Wales?
South Wales derby. Cardiff City beating Swansea by 3-0. Callum Robinson with a brace and Dimitras Gutas with the third.
A result that also brings them out the relegation zone.
Yeah,
because this is why it was so big, because it was looking obvious Swansea would win. They're sitting 15th. They're not setting the world alight, but they're comfortable, whereas Preston would. I think they were in 22nd before the game kicked off.
I mean, I don't know if you know this, but obviously Cardiff have now gone unbeaten against Swansea this season, but they're still yet to do the double over them in their entire history.
Really?
In their whole history?
I think it's whole history. I'm pretty sure.
Incredible.
And Swansea have only ever done a double over Cardiff once.
To me, though, that just tells you how competitive of a derby it is. Neither team wants to lose the game, so they'll put everything on the line not to lose.
Like I've got a soft spot for Cardiff. I really like them.
I quite like the Bluebirds.
And I dislike Swansea a lot. So obviously I wanted a Cardiff win in this, and I want to see them stay up because they don't deserve to be in League One. They're a big club. I think the job that Omar Ritza's doing is actually fairly good. Considering the circumstances he's come in, he's not really had much managerial experience. But I think Ritza is doing a fairly good job, and hopefully he can see it out to the end of the season, which I think Cardiff fans will be happy with.
I mean, you have to say that Callum Robinson, what a performance from him. 2 goals against their biggest rivals.
And he
Really, really good.
He scored the equaliser against them earlier in the season. So
Did he? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. That's 10 goals for him in this championship season. Very good
Yeah.
return, especially when you consider the position that Cardiff are in at this point.
hmm.
In other important games to touch on, Portsmouth beat Middlesbrough 2-1 at home.
Big one.
They've really turned Fratton Park into a fortress, haven't they? I mean, I don't know when they last lost at home, but it's been a while, I think. I'll have a quick check, but Portsmouth are obviously not doing well, and Middlesbrough have been very good of late. So it's
It was interesting. The two goal scorers for Portsmouth was Matt Ritchie, the
From
former
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, Newcastle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
on that, Portsmouth are 6 games unbeaten at home,
Really?
Really,
Yeah,
that's-
6
that's really
unbeaten,
impressive.
and they're in a relegation battle. That's the kind of way you
need-
make a
you need-
difference.
But you need to win your home games. That's
Exactly.
That's
That's
the most
exactly what you
important
did last season, and that's the reason you stayed up.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, more with the
More the
first season.
yeah.
You made
Yeah.
the City Ground a fortress, and it's what Portsmouth are doing, and they're really making a case to stay up, beating one of the better teams in the league.
Are they above Luton?
I think
They are
Luton are
currently
23rd.
above
Yeah.
Luton.
They're 23rd. I think.
Luton are 23rd.
I generally think they could go down.
Plymouth are getting quite isolated at the bottom. They're
Mm.
5 points clear of safety now. Not their last result, because we're not going to talk about midweek, but on the weekend they lost 1-0 to QPR. It's not
QPR are
looking
doing
good for
well
them.
though.
Yeah,
They're doing really well.
QPR,
recently.
Should we talk quickly about QPR? It was obviously a 1-0 win for them on the weekend. They did also beat Hull 2-1 last night, but they are doing very well. QPR.
I mean, I remember we talked about QPR a few weeks ago, when they were really struggling, like bottom of the table. That's when we were talking about them, and I said then they need to stick with Marty Cifuentes because he
They
will
did.
get them out of that. He'll get them out of that bottom phase. Now he's taken up to 8th, and also the signing of Ronnie Edwards from Southampton
Yeah,
is an unbelievable signing.
they can really push on. I think the playoff race is so tight. It may be a bit hard for them to get all the way into the playoffs, but they can definitely challenge for it, I reckon. But I think Plymouth, they have Burnley tonight as we're recording this on the Wednesday. What do you think of that game?
So it's going to go one way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It can only go one
it
way.
is at home park, so
That's the only advantage they have in that game, really. You'd
Yeah.
expect Burnley to go.
but they
and
did
get an
lose.
easy
They
win.
did lose at home to QPR though.
The new Plymouth manager speaks very well,
He does.
but can he produce it?
Yeah, so it's not about what you say. It's also
What
about
you do.
But to
what
be
you do,
fair,
yeah.
It's a time for Plymouth if they want to go and get a win, go and do it against Burnley. Maybe it can somehow revive their season, but it's a long way back for Plymouth now, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get onto this more with the other leagues, but I just very quickly wanted to touch on how well the promoted, some of the promoted teams are doing. So Oxford, 14th. They're having an incredible
Yeah.
season.
And they
They've
changed
just
the
come.
manager
They were in every single prediction
to go down.
to go down,
Yeah.
but not just go down in 24th.
Obviously, Gary Rowett now at the helm. Solid appointment to keep them in the
I mean,
championship.
they look good. They beat Blackburn 1-0 on the weekend. They're making a very strong case with Blackburn sitting 6th as well. Derby aren't doing quite as well. They're 20th. They're out the relegation zone, unfortunately, but they're still in the fight.
6 straight losses. Lovely.
Yeah, they're looking like they're going to be in there in a short while because
Didn't they at one point they were doing all right?
they were like
Yeah.
12th start of the season.
Yeah, and
but
it's just
Hull are below them at the moment. You'd imagine Hull will go above. Portsmouth are looking better than them at the moment, and Plymouth maybe new manager bounce.
And obviously, Luton do have quality.
Luton have
Yeah.
quality. It's whether they can find it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Have they appointed a new
Yeah,
successor? They haven't they?
Wycombe's manager.
It is what's his name? His name is Matt Bloomfield. That's
Bloomfield,
it.
That's it.
Anyway, League One.
Yeah, let's move on to League One and look at how the teams are doing in that league. So Birmingham is still top, unfortunately.
Oh, the fan base get rattled easily because they're entitled as
But
hell.
the big result and the big talking point: 22nd place Shrewsbury beat Wrexham 2-1.
Yeah.
A bit of a derby match. It's not a proper one,
Yeah.
but North Wales right next to, and then Shrewsbury's obviously right next to North Wales. Bit of a rivalry.
South Wales.
Yeah. No, Wrexham's North Wales.
Oh.
But they don't like each other. Put it that way.
Did you see? I don't know his name. Just absolutely 2-footed James McLean.
Yeah.
That was
that was a hefty challenge.
Fair play. Fair
Um,
play to him.
A team I want to touch on, which we haven't really touched on at all, Leyton Orient. They
Doing
were
very well.
a few weeks
Underrated.
ago in about 18th or 19th.
Yeah.
They're in 8th place.
They had a really poor start to the season.
Yeah.
And they're 3 points off the playoffs now.
Yeah, and obviously they've got a massive cup game against Manchester City.
I'm hoping they'll win that. That'd be really good.
Beat Derby in the last round.
Get
so
it.
it's no, Orient doing really well. We've obviously watched Orient, me and you, this season. We went to see them against Colchester in the whatever trophy it's called
EFL.
now.
EFL
Johnson
trophy,
Paint
yeah.
Trophy, whatever it is. But no, they've got some good players. I like their centre back Cooper. I think it's Brandon Cooper from Swansea. Very solid centre half, and maybe they can make a break for the Championship.
It would be nice though. Like, the thing is, with Leyton Orient, when they went down a couple of years ago into the National League, and they're slowly making their way back up. I think there was only 10 plus years ago where there was nearly going into the Championship.
Yeah.
Potentially we could see them go back up. That'd be like a nice little kind of story to see them go back up. Yeah, I'm really happy that they're doing well.
We'll touch on this quickly. We did speak about it 2 weeks ago, but there's now a 5-point gap between the relegation zone and 20th place.
It's looking pretty set for me.
Yeah, I mean Burton have now overtaken Cambridge, so that's surprising because Burton looked like they were going to easily finish bottom, and then now for 23rd.
Burton and Cambridge are like definitely down for me.
Yeah,
the other two I'm a bit.
They could if they have a good run, but Northampton are low. Peterborough are still very low. We spoke about that last week as well. They haven't really recovered at all. Reading is still doing well. They're still high up in the league. And Wickham is still in second, keeping Wrexham out of that automatic spot. Anything else you want to say on League One?
Not really. I think we've really said everything so far. Just nothing huge happened, I don't think.
No, I'd agree.
Wrexham dropping points.
I think I'd agree. Now, obviously, a big thing happened in League Two. Nathan Lowe has gone back to Stoke City, top scorer in the league with 15 goals. It's a big loss for Warsaw. However, they did win 4-2 on the weekend, so the loss doesn't seem to have upset their goal scoring.
Good attack.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're in a good rhythm. They're all confident, motivated. So, yeah,
I mean, are you guys aware how clear they are?
Yeah, I think they're like 12 15 points, something like that.
They are 12 points clear with a game in hand.
Yeah, that is insane. Like, surely you would have to say they go. They're walking the league. Surely
it would take some drop off. Obviously, they might drop off now. Lowe's gone. I know they've just scored 4 goals. But I hate it when clubs do that. If a player's doing well on loan.
Well, it was because Leicester recalled Cannon, so they needed a striker to come in. Yeah. But Nathan Lowe as well, I would like to point out with him, came in, his first game for Stoke, he scored.
Yeah,
so
like
can he back it up in the Championship and keep becoming that goal scorer for them? Because Cannon was doing well for them. Yeah. Can he now fill his shoes?
We had a very similar situation a few years ago when we were in the Championship. It was season we went into lockdown. We had Tyler Walker on loan at Lincoln City. Absolutely doing well for Lincoln, really well. I think he was one of the top scorers in League One. And recalled him. He scored on his first goal. He scored on his first game back, and then didn't score again, and then left in the summer. So it's like you don't want to get ahead of yourself.
No, obviously not. But a surprising team for me is Crewe sitting in second in the table. They're never a team that I think of as being a challenger.
Weren't they in the playoff final last year?
They might have been. I didn't think they were, but they might have been. But either way, they're doing very well for themselves now. Second place in the league. They're looking like they're a strong case of automatic promotion to League One. Port Vale are now down to third. They did win.
It's a drop off though.
They did win 3-2 on the weekend though, but they were, I think, about 8 points clear, which is kind of a message to Warsaw that they don't want it yet. No, they've not won it yet. Yeah. Morecambe and Carlisle are still the two teams in the relegation zone. Again, a 5-point gap to safety for Morecambe, a 7-point gap for Carlisle. It's starting to get a bit shaky for those two teams, looking like they might drop into the National League. But otherwise, teams are as you'd expect. Chesterfield and Bromley, 10th and 11th, the two teams that came up.
And Bromley obviously had that trip to Newcastle the other week.
Yeah, unfortunate loss for them, but it's a moment you always will look at as a fan. They've had that moment. They've gone to a massive Premier League club, and they've gone 1-0 up. They had their moment. They got to celebrate. Unfortunately, they couldn't go all the way, but at least they got a nice moment.
Yeah. But we have talked about Bromley a fair bit in this Green Show. But it's just nice to see a club go up from National League and then just do well in their first season.
Well, not just one, but two. Chesterfield as well,
Chesterfield
10th.
as well.
They've got Will Grigg up front. I'm not sure how well he's done for them this season, but he's obviously a really big name.
didn't he get nominated like the Ballon d'Or? Or
I
something
think
like
he
that,
might have
I
done.
swear.
He's got
I swear he
Did
got.
he have-
I
no
swear. I
way.
saw
he's
something
got
like that,
8 goals
I
and 2
swear.
assists for Chesterfield this year at the age of 33. Very, very decent player
So
still.
he's still on fire, and defences are still terrified.
I
by the
believe
looks of
they
it.
are. But I think that is a wonderful place to end off this Green Show. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, leave a like and make sure you subscribe so you can see all of our other content. Check out our Instagram and our TikTok too to see lots of other kinds of content, and we will see you in the next one.